Let's see this question. A room 5 meter 44 centimeter long and 3 meter 74 centimeter broad is to be paved with square tiles. Find the least number of square tiles required to cover the floor. So they are saying that there is a room, rectangular room, which is like this. So its length is 5 meter 44 centimeter. Okay, so I am converting everything to centimeters, so it is going to be 544 centimeters. This is the length, and breadth is given as 374 centimeters. Okay, now they are saying that this has to be paved with square tiles. So we have to take square tiles and we have to cover it. Paved means covering. Okay, now this big room has to be covered with all the tiles. Okay, now they are saying that find the least number of square tiles required to cover the floor. So you have to cover it with least number of tiles. Okay, now let's try to solve it. See, it is going to be 544 centimeters, right? Now we have to take the tiles in such a way that the tile, if you assume that it is a square tile, right? If you assume that length of each side is x, okay, now these tiles are all supposed to cover this entire length. Okay, therefore definitely k into x should be equal to 544. What is the meaning of it? This x has to be a factor of 544, right? Or since we are not going to cover the tile, this room with any part of the tile, we are going to use this entire tile to cover it. We have to see that the entire length has to be a multiple of the size of this or the side of this tile. So now if you see this, k into x has to be equal to 544. Similarly, these tiles are going to cover this 374 as well. So L into x should be equal to 374. Why? If it is not the case, then some part of the breadth will be remaining, which has to be covered by part of the tile, but we are not going to use part of the tiles. Got it? So why should these two be followed? If these are not followed, then some part of length or some part of breadth will be remaining, which has to be covered by part of the tile. It should not happen, right? Which means there should not be remainders. Got it? So we have to use a integral number of tiles to cover this and integral number of tiles to cover this. Now coming to the when you write a number like a product of two numbers, this is called as a factor. These two are called as factors, right? So the factor of 544 is x, as well as factor of 374 is x, right? Now since it is a common in both of them, we can call it as the common factor, right? Okay, so we are supposed to find out a common factor of these two numbers first. Now if you just try to find out the common factors, 1 is a factor of both of them, as well as 2 is also a factor. So you could have taken anything, but then there is one more requirement. See this, find the least number, right? So which means whatever numbers you are going to choose here, they have to be least. Got it? If these numbers have to be least, this number has to be as high as possible. Got it? And therefore this x has to be highest common factor of these two numbers, right? HCF, or it is also called as GCD, greatest common divisor, because x is a divisor of these two numbers and common divisor of these two, and it has to be as great as possible, right, or as high as possible. So the value of x has to be GCD or HCF of these two numbers. Now if you try to find out the GCD or HCF of these two numbers, later we have a topic called as GCD or HCF. We shall discuss it later. So in that topic I am going to discuss about how to find it out. Now if you find out, it is going to be 34. Okay, so what does it mean? Each tail should have 34 centimeter, 34 centimeter, 34 and 34, right? Okay, now what is the area of this square? The area of this square is going to be 34 into 34 centimeters square, right? And what is the total area that has to be covered? The total area that has to be covered is 544 into 374 centimeters square. Now using let's say x, these x tails of this area, we are trying to cover this total area. Therefore, x into these many tails is equal to this area. Are you getting this? Using x tiles, I am able to cover this entire area. Therefore, if you assume that each tile area is this much, then x into one tile area should be equal to the total area that has to be covered. So, which is 544 into 374. Now what do you get as x? X equal to, if you just divide it, you are going to get it as 176. What does it mean? 176 tiles are required to cover it, given that you have taken each tile of size 34 by 34, right? Okay.
Hi, if you are planning to do masters, then doing masters abroad is better than doing masters in India. I'll give you all the reasons. So, first reason is, out of 1 lakh students who take GATE every year, there are only 500 seats in old IITs. So all the IITs put together have an acceptance rate of 0.5%, and IITs, universities better than IITs, they have very good acceptance rate like 30%, 40%, but all the IITs put together have an acceptance rate of 0.5%. And if you are working hard to get into IIT Bombay's ranking is 177 and IIT Roorkee's ranking is 400. If you are happy to get into IIT Roorkee, then getting into universities better than IIT Roorkee is easier compared to getting into IIT Roorkee. And looking at the salaries for computer science, for software jobs, if you have done your masters in computer science in US, the salaries are ranging from 80 lakhs per year to 1.2 crore per year. So even if you take an average of 1 crore per year, your savings will be much higher than the salaries in India. After taxes and your cost of living, you can easily save 40 to 50 lakhs per year. And in India, the maximum jobs that you get is around 30 lakhs. So your savings will be much greater than the salaries in India. And these are all the services that we provide. University shortlisting. So depending on your profile, we will shortlist what are the universities that you have to apply, and statement of purpose building, and then LOR guidance, and GRE and English test assistance, and education loan assistance. So you don't have to have any collateral, which means without any security, now you can get education loan. Getting education loan is very simple these days, and whatever the amount of fee that you have a range of universities. You can apply for 10 lakh universities, 20 lakh universities, or 50 lakh universities. But whatever it is, you are going to get complete education loan, and you can pay off your education loan in 1 year after you get a job. And then we do visa assistance, mock visa interviews, and then connecting with the university alumni. So now you might ask why we should join Game of Visas. So the answer is, we have 90% success rate, 99% success rate. And these are all the destinations that we guide the students to. So we guide students to any country that you want to go. So now it is not just USA. We guide to UK, Germany, Australia, Canada. So we guide students to all the countries. We work with all the destinations. And if you are interested in going abroad, you have to just drop us a message on this WhatsApp number 9494 555 454. Okay, thank you.